The United States government is shut down under the Republican White House, Senate, and U.S. Congress, but they are doing everything they can to blame it on Democrats, even going so far as to say the pitiful puppy killer cosplay Barbie. Department of Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem has this ridiculous video saying it's all the Democrats' fault. She wants to put it in every airport because security lines are slower, air traffic controllers aren't showing up, and people are pissed, understandably. So she makes this bullshit video. Now airports are pushing back. No Lie with Brian Cohen says multiple reports are announcing airports will refuse to play Kristi Noem's government funding video blaming Democrats for the government shutdown. And the statement from these airports is, we believe the Hatch Act clearly prohibits the use of public assets for political purposes and messaging, one airport said. Now, I'm going to remind you that the law is the Hatch Act. Politicians cannot use public funds, public domains to do politics, to campaign, things of that nature. That's exactly what they're doing. They did it with all the voicemails. When you call into these federal agencies, they've put it on their websites, their social media. And the reason is because these people do not give a shit about the rule of law. Starting with the convicted felon, Kangs, all the way down, these people have no respect for the Constitution or the law. It is unbelievable the lengths they will go to hide from the public and to lie and propagandize people. And then, I don't know if you saw it over the weekend, but Amy Poehler and Tina Fey did a skit about Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi. So Pam Bondi posts this. I'm going to describe for you what the picture is. It's Tina Fey with a suit and an AK-47 like powered rifle. And Tina Fey is Kristi Noem. Amy Poehler is Pam Bondi. Here's the thing. The skit was funny, but the real life Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem are so much worse than anything that could be satire, anything that could be put on air. It's their behavior. It is so ridiculous that I didn't think the skit was that funny simply because the truth was stranger than the actual fiction. Their behavior is so much more bizarre than what they showed on Saturday Night Live. So Pam Bondi, because Republicans have no sense of humor, posts, at Secretary Noem, should we recreate this picture in Chicago? Loving Amy Poehler, and repost the picture where they're like making fun of them. And I'm just like, these people do not understand. Fox News doesn't understand that Gavin Newsom isn't imitating Donald Trump. He is mocking him. Pam Bondi doesn't understand. They're not laughing with you, Pam. They're laughing at you. They're looking at you and saying, you're a fucking joke. You're a lying propagandist. That's what they're doing. And you don't get it because, again, Republicans just aren't funny. And then we go to Hakeem Jeffries, for who the first time I actually think spoke some truth. Here's what he has to say about Democrats and Republicans coming together to negotiate to open the government back up.
You met with Speaker Mike Johnson.
No, Speaker Mike Johnson and I have not met.
Why
They've
not?
made the decision. Donald Trump has not given them permission to meet, Katie. And we know that until Donald Trump gives them permission to meet, they're going to continue to hide as it relates to sitting down and negotiating a bipartisan agreement.
Okay, so finally some truth from Hakeem Jeffries. Everybody knows. I read a report yesterday that the White House is like, oh yeah, we have Congress by the balls. I mean, not obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but they are controlling the government. Mike Johnson is a lapdog. He is a religious radical that now has put Donald Trump in place of his God, which is like against the commandments. He's also not loving thy neighbor against the commandments, and he lies all the fucking time. But here's the thing. Mike Johnson cannot reopen the government because we've got the Epstein files lurking out that clearly Donald Trump is in up to his eyeballs, or we would have seen him already. This has been going on for like his entire term because he brought it up in the campaign. But finally, Hakeem Jeffries starts with just a little bit of sass. We need more of that, Hakeem. I'm not going to dismiss it. You actually did it, but we need more of this all day, every day. The government is shut down because the Republicans' policies are wildly unpopular. They want to kick people off of health insurance so that billionaires can keep more money, and they don't want to release the Epstein files. And then we've got Mike Johnson, again, lapdog, got his whole Christ thing completely out of whack because he worships Donald Trump. He will do anything for Donald Trump. He will lie. He will protect pedophiles as long as Donald Trump is happy. So yesterday, the government fired 4,000 federal employees. They laid them off. Now, reminder, Donald Trump said in the Oval Office, people that were fired were going to be Democrats, people that didn't follow the loyalty test for the Republicans. So he did it yesterday. He and Russell Vought, RIP, that's what Russell Vought is posting on his social media. So they are celebrating Americans losing their job. And here is Mike Johnson, lapdog, pussy, Moses Mike, in response to a question about Americans losing their jobs.
Mr. Speaker, we know the president moved forward with mass layoffs. So we are also learning there were significant cuts to staff at the special education services. Are you comfortable with those cuts?
I haven't seen the specifics of that, and I don't know. I do know that each of the
What a lie. What a fucking lie. Okay, Donald Trump cut special education. And I'm going to keep saying this. It is because people that aren't perfect, people that might have autism, sick, special needs, disabilities, they don't give a shit about them more than they don't give a shit about blue collar workers and working class people. They don't care if people are sick and die. They don't care if a child with special needs cannot get the education that has been offered to them because they don't have value. They dehumanize immigrants. They dehumanize Black people and brown people. They dehumanize the sick because we're in the midst of the biggest measles outbreak, like in modern medicine history, because these fuckers are telling people that, vaccines can give you autism or whatever they're saying, just a bunch of bullshit. Now, circumcision causes autism. I mean, it's fucking crazy. Anyway, that's beside the point. I'm off track. These people do not have any value in human beings that aren't white, male, rich, and Christian. That means they're coming for you, white women. Liberal white women are all already on the list. MAGA women, they're taking away your rights. They're taking away your daughter's rights. This is proof positive. They don't give a shit about anybody that's not a white Christian male. And then we have a senator that always speaks out for good. He speaks truth to power, and he tells us exactly why the government is shut down by the Republicans to protect pedophiles.
No negotiations happening, in large part because the House of Representatives isn't even here. They've been on an unprecedented 5-week recess because they do not want to risk their billionaire tax cut. And they also don't want to talk about the president's lawlessness. I mean, that's the other thing that we have to talk about in this budget. If we're going to fund this administration, we need to fund an administration that is paying attention to the law. I would be a sucker, Margaret, to vote for a budget that allows the president to then go and spend money only in states that are run by Republicans and spend no money in states that are run by Democrats.
So there you have it. Donald Trump wants the government shut down because he's doing whatever the fuck he wants. He's giving money to Argentina. He's building his ballroom. He doesn't give a shit. The military is being let loose in American cities that are blue cities. So good for Chris Murphy. We've got to keep up the fight. We've got to keep up the resistance. Remember the No Kings rally, October 18th. Look it up where it is in your town. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and A great way to support us is by buying our book, Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches. You can also get it in the audiobook if you want to hear our voice, which I cannot imagine because I would think at this point you're getting sick of it. Please stick with us for more news.